So Victor and Victoria have met their end?
Yes, Lord Marshal.
A tragic end to tragic lives.
Indeed. But the vessel and her fellow conspirators have been captured.
Though the toll was heavy, we have them at last. Well done, Altonus. Well done.
No, this was not my doing. It was his.
I see.
There was one more matter, Lord Marshal. Your daughter, Lydia, is in her room.
And?
I simply thought you'd wish to know.
Is this my room? Where is everybody?
Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default. Last time, we entered Eternian Central Command and confronted and defeated Victor and Victoria and obtained their asterisk. But we were ambushed when attempting to scale the Central Command, and Idia was separated from her allies, and she's in her room now. I don't know where Agnes and the rest of our friends are, but hopefully they're okay. Idia's father knows that we're here, so I think it's only a matter of time before we reach a confrontation. There doesn't seem to be anything in this room, so let's head out.
No, leave us. I simply wish to speak with my daughter. Now go.
Father. You never learned to knock first, no matter how many times I asked.
It seems like ages.
What have you done with my friends? Where have you taken them?
Your fellow conspirators are held in the dungeon.
The dungeon? I'd feared that. So they yet live?
As for the Wind Vestal,
Agnes! What will you do with her? You'll bring ruin upon Eternia if you harm a hair on her head!
you speak of ruin. It is you and your conspirators who nearly brought ruin upon this land. Crystalism is a cult, a tool for deceiving the masses. We can trust them with the crystals no longer. The Wind Vestal shall never again see the light of day. And should she persist with her uncooperative attitude,
Then it's as I feared. You'll have her executed, though she was merely caught in a web spun of your selfish ideals!
selfish, you say?
Well, they are, aren't they? You sent big men to chase down and capture one little girl. You wage war far and wide. You ravage nature. You bring suffering upon innocence. Are those your ideals, Father? What is it you're trying to do? I don't understand. I just don't understand.
I did not raise you to be such a shallow little fool.
Father, why do you say such things?
The Earth Crystal is now the last of the crystals here upon Luxendark to retain its normal state. All who seek to awaken the crystal, whether the Vestal or my own flesh and blood, shall face the wrath of my blade! You shall remain here whilst you regain your senses.
And just how long am I to be your prisoner?
Until you realize the error of your ways! Redouble the guard. My daughter poses a graver threat than you might think.
It's as I feared. Father does not understand.
Lord DeRosso, Your Grace, what brings you here? It has been 15 years since you last ventured forth.
15, you say? It brings me joy to see what a fine Grand Marshal you have become. For an immortal such as I, 15 years seems but a fleeting moment in time. Do you recall that day? It was dreadfully cold by your reckoning, though just the sort of weather in which I delight. Upon ceding the head counselor's seat to you, I retired to my castle and partook of a goblet of steaming wine. And now 15 years have passed since you rid yourself of me by naming me Archduke. But I ask you, are you content? You seized the Earth Crystal and laid waste to the places sacred to the Orthodoxy. And you brought the crystals under the dominion of man, exploiting them to build your ideal society. All great deeds we failed to accomplish. You should be proud.
I did it not for pride.
I would have you accept my words as true, for there is no veiled reproach therein. Indeed, you have acted most valiantly, unlike we who have long done naught but watch from the shadows. And yet, you have been too hasty, brave the Templar. I fear I do not share your urgency, for my life has spanned 2,400 years. But I understand the reasoning therein, and it is from such understanding that I say you have been too hasty.
Though 15 years have passed, you have changed not one bit. However, if I might respond...
Father just doesn't understand. Right. All ready. It's quite a way to the dungeon, but I'll manage.
Forgive me, Lord Marshal. Is Edea here with you?
No, she is not. She was supposed to be confined to her chambers.
Yes, Lord Marshal, she was. But she suddenly disappeared.
What's this? We're not the sentries vigilant?
They claim never to have stepped from their post. Her chamber door was never opened.
Then how could she have?
Ah, her father's daughter indeed. She acts from the same sentiments. Those sentiments that you once held for the Crystal Orthodoxy.
How could you know that? Have you not been away from this land these 15 years?
Was it not you who drove me to exile? Well, be that as it may. But to one such as I, you and your daughter are one and the same. Passionate, stubborn, not even 100 years old. So it is I can understand what both father and daughter are thinking, simply by watching. You ought try speaking with her, and listening too. Your time for such opportunities grows short. Crystalism, anti-crystalism. The quarrel between you and your daughter is but a proxy for that clash of ideas. Open your heart before it is too late. The very future of this world hangs in the balance.
You truly have not changed, have you?
Is that so? Well, you must forgive me. But lest you forget, it was you who appointed me Archduke.
I know the dungeon key is around here somewhere. Found it! Now to free everyone.
There's a lot to talk about and digest here, but I don't think we have the time. We've got to save our companions. But we do have time for some party chat. 4 birds in a cage. Agnes! Idia! Ring a bell! Are you alright? Fit as a fiddle. I am unharmed as well. Rude. What's the big idea, leaving me out? Sorry. Wait. Idia isn't here. What? Where is she then? Think about it. This is her home. She has friends here, family. Right about now, You can't think this was all a trap. Idia is not the sort of person to commit such deception. I will not believe it. She's right. Me neither. And me least of all. I'm saying she's in more danger than all of us. We're all the only enemies of the state. What? And Idia isn't? With her, it's personal. She betrayed them, 'tis. People here must bear a grudge against her. So you suspect she's being subjected to an especially cruel punishment? Ring a bell. Your journal. What does it say? Anything about getting out of here? I'll have a look. No luck. I suppose even miraculous tomes have their limits. Then let us send Ari as a scout. What? Ari's a what now? You can pass between these bars. Please, go have a look around the area. Nice thinking, Agnes. She may be able to track down the cell keys. But what if someone sees me? Do you think I can just muscle through like you all? Do you see any muscle in me? At all? If we all remain here, we'll get no closer to the Earth Crystal. Or to Idia. At least see if she's being held in here in the dungeons or not. Fine. You want me to go? I'll go. Wouldn't want Idia harmed. Not that anyone cares what happens to me. Thank you, Ari. I shall be praying to my pendant for your safe return. I expect I'll need it. Anyway, here goes nothing. Shh, wait. I hear something. Eek! Eek! What do I do? Someone's coming. I gotta hide. What's with all the noise? I can hear you guys from outside. That voice. Idia. Sorry to keep you waiting. I found the keys to the place. I'm just glad to see you're safe. Well, looks like everyone's in high spirits, Idia. So, let's get them out of here. There are random encounters here, as I literally just said that. Thankfully, it's only usually 1 or 2 guards, and Idia is competent enough. She can take them down, no problem. I don't think we need to utilize Thundaga here. Let's go ahead and use Thundura and see if that is this Duchy Pike Guard's weakness. Be careful here. If your Idia is not fit to survive attacks solo, there's a very good chance that you could game over here. So be careful. Turn off random encounters if you feel like you can't survive them. There's no shame in it.
Are you all right, Ring-a-Bell?
Why wouldn't I be? I mean, I knew you'd come. All I had to do was sit back and wait. And, well, here you are. I'm the luckiest man alive. You're my savior, my goddess. Let me thank you with a big kiss.
Ring a bell. Are you coming or not? I can leave you here.
Of course. Let's go.
And we've got the man, the myth, the legend back in the team, and our healer, thankfully. Glad you're all right, Ring a Bell. Thank you, my dear. I owe you. And a gentleman always pays his debts. Debts to ladies I repay tenfold. Here he goes. It's always this. If you would have me do something else, milady needs but ask. Alright then, Ring a Bell. How about you go out with me? That's, might I ask what provoked that? If you were my boyfriend, where would you take me? Where's tonight's date? Tonight, let me see. I need time to prepare all this time, and you never once stopped to think what to do with me if I ever said yes? Well, you see... I'm only teasing you. You can dish it out, but you can't take it at all. Oh, this is useful information. What? You've been treating Tiz like a little brother this whole time. And every time you get the chance, you tease poor Agnes. So, who do I tell this to first? Is neither an option? I vote neither. Then you owe me twice the hush money. I love these two so freaking much. Next potion at the top left here. Glad to see everyone's in high spirits, even though our current situation. There's an exit route, it looks like, but we don't want to do that just yet. We want to save our companions. 5,000 gil right there, and a random encounter. This time we got at least a little bit of the crew left. Idiot, take him down. There we go. No issue there. Idiot's gonna shoot ahead in EXP here, though. There's our boy Tiz.
Thanks, Adia. You're a lifesaver.
You're quite welcome. But it was really nothing. After all, I was raised within Central Command's walls. I know every nook and cranny.
Were you able to speak with your father?
Huh? What does it matter to you?
You have family you can talk to. You ought to, you know.
You would forgive my father? Grand Marshal of Eternian Forces, Head Counselor of the Council of Six? You've seen how much Agnes has suffered because of my father's orders.
True enough, but...
You need not worry about me. We need to focus on awakening the Earth Crystal.
All right.
Tiz, my man, join the party, and we get another party chat. Glad you're all right, Tiz. Thanks, I owe you one. Hey, Tiz. Tiz, how do you feel about Agnes? Be honest. Whoa. Where's this coming from? Never mind, it's written on your face. My face? Hey, keep it down, would you? Don't worry, she can't hear us from here. And you can't keep hiding your feelings anyway. Go tell her. Tell her you like her. What? No, I don't. Well, I mean, the crystals comes first. This is no time to be... I didn't mean right this second. Sometime, when it's just you two. You tell her, take her hand, and walk your path together, side by side. I mean it, Tiz. You're not gonna find anyone else like her if you pass this up. Not ever. Never, ever, ever. Look, would you please keep it down? But she's right, Tiz. You've got an opportunity here, my man. I suggest you take it. Light curtain at the bottom right here. Hey, Agnes. Hopefully you didn't hear any of that.
Agnes, are you all right? I am. Now that you're here, Adia, I'm glad to see you're safe and sound too. Me?
Well, the Eternian forces do view you as a traitor to your homeland. I feared they'd have some unspeakable punishment awaiting you.
You needn't worry about that. My father is not so draconian as that. And yet, on second thought...
At least no harm has come to you.
I'd like to thank you too, Adia. You saved me from having to search this entire dungeon.
Eri, do you think you could have carried this key around? You're so little after all.
It does look really heavy. I'd rather not think about lugging that about.
There's nothing to worry about now that I'm here. Well, I better lead the way. With your poor sense of direction, Agnes, who knows where we'd end up.
Now hold on. My sense of direction has improved. At least somewhat.
Isn't that simply a matter of having Eri and Tiz lead the way?
Well, that may be, but...
Don't take it so hard. Now come on, follow me.
If you say so.
Agnes, join the party. Good to have you back. No, glad to see you're safe, Agnes. If you had picked her up before reconvening with everyone, you would have gotten one. And now the whole crew's back here. We gotta do some reorganizing here, though. That fight, Idia gained a level up, and she's now ahead of everyone, level 48. There's gonna be a little bit of an EXP difference between everyone. So let's go ahead and move people around. There we go, we're back to our intended setup. And there's still a little bit to explore here in the dungeon, but real quick, Eri, what you gotta say? The team's back together, huh? Let's get out of this dungeon then. You're looking very hyped, Harry? Hyped, Harry? Wow, okay. Looking very hyped, Eri. Oh, you're a fairy, Eri. There's Agnes and Ringabel's level up. Unfortunate for Tiz. But no job level ups. Oh, that completely passed my mind. We've got 2 new jobs for us here. We've got the Arcanist and the Spirit Master. This is a little curious, as I'm kind of in a predicament here. I really want to utilize Agnes as my Spirit Master for the time being, as she has access to the best healing abilities we have right now. But I like her having performing as well, and I would need to utilize both her main and sub job abilities in order to make her a healer. So for that reason, I think I'm going to not mess with Spirit Master just yet. I'm tempted to slap her on Arcanist just so we have some extra damage, but I think for right now, I think for right now, we're going to stick with what we've got. If I change my mind later down the road, I will make sure to notify you guys, but for right now, I don't think I'll swap anyone over just yet, but rest assured, both of those jobs will get plenty of time in the limelight down the road. There's Tiz's level up. No job level up, obviously. So let's try looking over by the stairwell. Right near our exit. Let's see here. Ah, there it is. There's our hidden passage. We'll take this all the way over here to this treasure chest, which holds Excalibur. Let's take a look at that. Now, we have Tiz here with the Raikiri, the Excalibur. Weapon attacks will deal light damage. This is really useful. Well, it would have been really useful against Victor, or Victoria, sorry. But obviously we didn't have it. If you have a sword user, this is a very powerful weapon. Tiz has B rank affinity with swords, and it's just barely weaker than his S rank Raikiri, which is really impressive. Very, very strong weapon right here. Anyhow, we're gonna go and head up to those stairwell. And let's see what's up here. It's more prison. Okay, now let's navigate this area. The enemies here are fairly similar to other Eternian grunts we've seen before. There's a light charm right there. There's nothing really interesting here. We've seen these kind of demon enemies before, at least I believe so. I'll go ahead and see if I can examine it next time. But there's a little bit more to this prison area. Nothing on this. This was a dead end. Okay. I guess we could go ahead and quickly discuss what has been going on. There's been so much. For one, we got to see a very interesting interaction between Idia and her father, something that most of the game up to this point has been leading up to. It's a very important interaction there, and it's interesting to see that they still can't come to an agreement, but we still really don't know why Eternia dislikes crystalism so much. They are going on and on about the crystals being crystalism, the orthodoxy itself is a cult, and that they're using the crystals either wrong or abusing their power and whatnot. But is the white magic cables the right way to use the crystals? We know that the Earth Crystal is still kind of in peril. It needs to still be awakened, so it's not in its ideal form. So the white magic cables must be doing something to it that's not natural, at least maybe. So if crystalism, which is about worshipping the crystals, at least in the way that we've known it, what is the right way to use the crystals? What we know about the crystal orthodoxy is that all they do is worship the crystals. We haven't been given any information, really, to why the anti-crystallists organizations despise crystalism so much. The best lead we have is that the leader of Eternia at the time of the Great Plague shut off a town to quarantine Eternia from the rest of the Great Plague, which, honestly, I don't think should be held against the entire Crystal Orthodoxy for that move, as it was, honestly, probably the best move he could have made at the time. Quarantining an entire area to make sure less people get hurt is a very important thing. I just don't see, at least yet, why Bravely, which is very, very funny name, Bravely the Templar, Idia's father, and just Eternia in general, despises it so much. I mean, even the Eternian generals and commanders that we've run into have been diabolical in their actions. No one here has been really all that nice. I mean, look at the Black Blades and the Blood Rose Legion. Hell, even the Profiteer and Common Merchantry. Like, these organizations have done nothing but cause pain and suffering. What makes them better than the Crystal Orthodoxy? That's an interesting question that hopefully we get an answer to here fairly soon. But we've got some more treasure chests here, the back of swine, and I feel like we're nearly out of here. We've got one more fight here. And looks like we're almost out.
Now, if we can get through here, then... Hold on while I try this key. It won't open.
Are you sure? Do we need a different key?
I don't understand. I thought...
Little Idia, in a bit of a bind?
Who's there? Sage? Is that you? What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? I could ask you the same. As for me, I'm right where I belong.
Right where you
Yes, indeed. You see, I'm a founding member of the council that preceded the Duchy of Eternia. And that would make me your enemy.
I don't understand.
I've been sequestered in Yuliana Woods ever since that Templar Brave Lee seized power. But the fact remains, I still count among the members of the Council of Six.
You were acquainted with my father? Then you must have known who I am. Why didn't you say so, you miserable old let?
I saw little need, being that I was in seclusion and no longer attending the council.
This cannot be. You were a trusted friend to us. A teacher-like figure who rendered aid. And to now hear you say you serve Eternia? The people who killed the Earth Vessel, the Fire Vessel, Olivia! I don't understand. Who are you, really?
Who indeed? I am but an outsider looking in.
What do you want with us?
An old friend has risen from a long slumber, so I came to see him. While I was here, I thought I would deliver a warning.
A warning?
Then you yet serve the Duchy's forces, and mean to stand against us?
You are not entirely wrong there. This world is not so clean or pleasant as you may think. I suspect your journey this far has taught you as much. Malice is not the only enemy. The road to ruin is oft paved with good intentions. With action comes consequence. The joy of some may be the misery of others. To decide one way is to abandon the other. Knowing this, will you continue upon your chosen road?
Nothing could stop me.
You mean us?
Right. Us. We've come so far together.
Is that so? Well then, have the courage to think and act on your own.
Those words. Have the courage to disobey.
Well now, you do remember.
Sage.
Step back.
Sage?
Know that ever shall I be watching over you.
This is too much to handle right now. But have the courage to disobey. Those are his lasting words on us. So, let's take them to heart. I know one thing for sure. Eternia has been in the wrong for doing what they have done today, and for as long as we have been adventuring, we have seen their wrongdoings. And we need to put an end to it as soon as possible. So, now that we have made it back to Central Command, First Floor, next time on Bravely Default, we are going to be scaling this fortress of a place, taking down anyone who stands in our way, so we can finally reach and confront Edia's father. So, with that said, I'll see you soon. "3:17. Someone please explain to me how I wound up defending this brat. Ah, right. Because that fat scum and the weaklings started eagerly talking about torturing the information out of him. Disgusting. I'm not worried about this weakling Ostre. I could handle him with my eyes closed. But the drugs the fat one cooks up, the poisons especially, could ruin the child's body. And so we stood there, staring each other down for a full half hour. It wasn't for another 30 minutes that Old Man Battleaxe caught wind of the standoff and came to my rescue. Batty and I were both drenched in sweat by that point. Astrai and the brat had passed out. In the end, the child became my responsibility. Astrai is still spewing complaints, but it sounds like Fatty was chewed out hard for his hand in the latest stunt. Seems the kid is grateful for having been spared, even by someone like me. He's started to open up a bit. He's 8 years old, and lost both parents to the war. His grandfather took him in, until disease claimed him as well. Textbook orphan story. He was rounded up with the other orphans and put to forced labor. Between ditching work and saying strange things, he drew the guards' attention, and that landed him here. My efforts have earned me an unruly roommate. When he's asleep, he's no different than any other kid. I thought to turn in for the night as well, but the words he mumbled in his sleep as I put out the light stopped me cold.